Hey guys, the Duke of TBC here, and I'm coming back with another Hearthstone budget deck profile here. This time we're going to be looking at the Mage. Sorry I haven't posted a video in a while. I've been busy playing Reaper of Souls, the expansion for Diablo 3. I'm going to be posting videos of Crusader gameplay here soon. I've just been thoroughly enjoying everything about that game, and it has eaten into my Hearthstone time. So as always, I have not spent any money on this game at all. This will make the fourth deck profile that I'm doing. I'm very happy with where this deck is right now. I will explain one or two of the changes that I would like to make when we actually look at the deck itself after we play a match. This is more of a tempo-based deck. I'm going to just assume this is a Zulok deck, and I'm going to try and get some better early game against it. Zulok has basically just been running rampant right now. It is a fairly cheap deck to make, and it's just going to end up being a, I'm sorry, what do you call it? A Murloc deck. It's a little bit more expensive to make, but, oh, do I coin into killing? I'm just going to kill this. It's a little bit more expensive to make with the epics and the one legendary, I think, in it. But some people are like, no, this deck takes skill. I don't think Murloc really takes any kind of skill at all. It's a game of how many Murlocs can you throw on the board and get to their face before they can deal with it. And personally, I don't have that much respect for that kind of playstyle where you're not really interacting. The problem is that the only deck that really does that well is Warlock, because they have pretty much arguably the best, they have the number one hero ability in the entire game. The reason I used Arcane Missile instead of Frostbolt there is I had only needed one of them to actually hit the monster for my hero power to go ahead and kill it, and even if it didn't, all three of it hit that. I still had the Frostbolt option, and that's still, you know, quite a bit of damage to the Warlock's face right off the start. So we have a pretty good start. We are 7 life up, we are even on cards, and we have our tiny little bit of board control here. The only thing that can be very scary about playing a Murloc Warlock deck against a Mage is that they can start getting very quickly put into a position where a fireball or two will just simply kill them, and that's not a position anybody wants to be in. Water Elemental is very good in this matchup. It's got 6 health, so it can just sit there and just keep taking out Murlocs over and over again while your other cards kind of take over. Our hero power is also very good against this style of deck because all of the 1 health Murlocs that do exist. So it can help just kind of shoot them down. So like I can just kill this just right off. 2 mana, no problem. That's fine with me. Even now, this really isn't a big deal. I can pretty much just wipe his board right off. And that's going to keep us, and pretty soon we're going to start getting way ahead in the card advantage area. So let's go ahead. The Murlocs, aside from the other things, are the priority number 1 simply because they can be buffed by other Murlocs. So now we are even on cards. I have board control again, and I'm still 9 health up. As he keeps trying, as you can get 2-for-1s over and over again with your cards, they're going to start having to deplete their health into a very scary zone against a Mage. And that's kind of how you want to play this. If we get good enough to get a Flame Strike here soon, then that's going to be great. I guess he's playing more of a Zeus-style deck, but not one that I'm very knowledgeable about, I guess. So we're going to go ahead, get Mirror Entity out, and our Fairy Dragon, he can't target it, so he's going to have to trade into that, and I'm pretty much okay with it. Hopefully he plays a creature that I can both deal with and is actually valuable enough for me to have busted a Mirror Entity on. Okay, I have no idea what the heck this Warlock is playing. but I'm pretty much fine with it now. Top decking a polymorph or a fireball would be pretty nice here. Kirator Mage is fine with me. So we're going to go ahead and play this. Play that for free. And we're going to go ahead and kill his ogre, because we can. I definitely don't want to deal with that. So now we are super high up on board position. We are above him on cards, and we are above him on health. And that is a very scary place for anyone to be. And he's going to get value off of that, but that's fine. I got to kill his 6-drop with what is essentially my 3-cost card, and I'm completely fine with that. Still fine with this. We are even on. I'm still 1-up on him on cards, and I have board position, and he can't target this, which is very nice. The resiliency of the fairy dragon is something that I think people don't realize. So once again, we're going to kill his creature very easily with ours, simply because our hero power is awesome. That's going to be a little more difficult to play against. Let's see if we get something fun. Flame Strike. Do I want to deal with it? Not really. We're just going to go ahead and Arcane Intellect here. That's pretty nice. Let's go ahead. How do I want to deal with this? Let's go ahead. You know what? Let's go ahead and see how far ahead we can keep ourselves. Hopefully we get some really good RNG. And that's fine with me. We wipe his board, we're up on cards, we're up on health. We have Flame Strike, and if I get any spell now, Gadgets and Auctioneer is just going to start gaining me tons of value. This is just kind of, I guess this is a beginning Warlock deck. I'm really not sure what he built. I think he just took a bunch of creatures that he thought were like value and threw them into a deck. Hellfire doesn't really bother me all that much. Drain Life, okay, that's a waste of a card in all honesty. Alright, so he's playing bad Warlock deck. I don't get it. Whatever, it's fine. I'm just gonna kill it. I have no easier way to deal with it. It makes my guy stronger, and he's down to 19 health and 2 cards at best when I have double Gadgets and Auctioneer in my hand. So he's technically drawn 1 more card than me, and he is this far behind. Now he's drawn 2 more cards than me, and he's still just this far behind, which is very bad for him. He's trading a 2-drop into a 1-drop. That's fine with me. So let's go ahead and start drawing cards. So I guess it's an unfinished Murloc deck. The reason I'm just going straight for him is it's a 1/1. I really don't care. And at this point, I'm going to be turning off his hero ability soon because it's just going to be too dangerous for him to keep drawing cards. He's going to be in fireball range, and he might even just be afraid of getting hit by a Pyroblast. He top decked something to kill my Gadgets in. I'm not too worried about that. I have another one. Plus, I can go ahead and just hero power to kill his thing that buffs. So fantastic. We're going to draw 1,000,000 cards now, and still have our hero power active. Can't really ask for more than that. And now we just have so much card advantage on him, it's kind of a joke. So we're up a bunch of cards, we're double his health, and he is in abysmal position here. Even if I lose my Gadgets and Auctioneer, he has more than paid for himself. Which is why I like him. He's a very fun card. He only sees play in Miracle Rogue currently, and Miracle Rogue is honestly not that great of a deck. It loses to very hard control, and that is very prevalent right now. So the best thing that we can do right now, we can put him down. Can we just kill him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. Yep, that's 11. I'm a mage, you're dead. And we're still drawing cards. Sorry. And just because I don't like Warlocks. So that's the deck. We ended the game against somebody who can draw a card every turn. Just massive amount of cards ahead. That's the way I play this deck. Draw as many cards as I possibly can. Get advantage on my opponent and just beat them down with very cost-efficient minions and very cost-efficient spells. I didn't get to play very many secrets against them. That's fine. The deck can function without them. It's just fun tech to have. So that was definitely not a control deck, as you can see. I was whittling him down very quickly throughout the entire game while he was also whittling himself down. Alright, so we've got Arcane Missile. It's good against the weenie decks. The reason I'm running this over Arcane Explosion is simply because there are too many cards that are 2 health when you're playing against the rush decks nowadays. You've got Flame Imp, you have the 3-2 that buffs something for 1-1. I don't have every creature memorized. You have your Knife Juggler. Just everything always has 2 health. So unless you have like Thalnos in your deck or easy ways to get spell power out early, Arcane Explosion is just not going to get the job done, whereas Arcane Missile is a 1-drop removal spell that most of the time will kill a turn 1 Flame Imp. It's just a good spell. If they have a bunch of 1 health things on the field, you have a good chance of killing it combined with the hero ability. Mana Worm, it's your turn 1 creature that can quickly get out of hand. I love it. You're playing a bunch of spells. What more do you want? Frostbolt is Frostbolt. Early removal, freeze big things. It's just good. Amani Berserker is an incredibly strong 2-drop in the Mage deck because, especially if you're going second, you can coin into it turn 2, hit it with your hero ability, and you have a 5-2 on turn 2, and that's incredibly threatening, especially if somebody gets a slow start and they can't deal with it. You can pop somebody for 10 damage and also just kill like somebody's turn 3 Yeti very easily. Fairy Dragon is an underrated card. Some people are like, a 3-2 that can't be targeted by spells or heroes isn't proactive enough. The point is with this deck is you want to be able to play creatures that can stay alive for a long time. And there's been games where I have put a saddle on Fairy Dragon and just rode it for 15 or 18 damage, and it was just a powerhouse that they couldn't deal with. Arcane Intellect is a spell that I know a lot of mages do not currently run. I believe it gives my deck a lot more consistency, as well as having plays like a turn 6 Kirin Mage, Arcane Intellect, and having options with my secrets is pretty good play. Counterspell is very underrated as well, especially against the meta right now, where decks are getting very, very tight in what they play. Most spells that people play are going to be spells that they absolutely have to win the game. People's Flame Strikes, Fireballs, Unleash the Hounds, Avenging Wrath, things like that are going to always be super valuable to stop. I tried to do a recording before this one. I didn't get any sound. It was against the Mage Mirror, and I played a turn 6 Kirin Mage into Counterspell with a Azure Drake that I copied out, as well as oh shoot, I had one other card out, and it was going into my opponent's turn 7, and they played Flame Strike, and it completely fogged their turn. I basically paid 3 mana for a free turn, and they conceded because, you know, staring at 12 damage on the board when you just busted your entire turn on a Flame Strike that didn't work is just absolutely devastating. Mirror Entity is a poor man's faceless manipulator. You cannot always choose what you get, but around the turn 6, turn 7 mark, people are having to put a threat on the board against a mage that's going to be a formidable clock, and having to play around this is something most people don't do very well, even in the higher ranks, I've noticed, simply because they're not used to it. People are so used to Ice Barrier or Ice Block and the occasional counterspell that they just don't even see the Mirror Entity coming. And Mirror Entity into Polymorph is, of course, a wonderful thing to have. Kirin Mage is a strong 3-drop. It's 4/3, and it combos with these. Turn 2, doing Coin Kirin Mage into a counterspell or Mirror Entity is such a strong play that I've had people literally rage about it. Fireball is Fireball. There isn't so much that I have to say about it. Polymorph, same thing. Water Elemental is an amazing card, especially against the aggro matchup if you go second, being able to coin into it on turn 3, and it'll just sit there and eat minions for a while. It'll normally eat 2 or 3 minions, and that is very valuable to getting you to your turn 7 for a Flame Strike. Azure Drake is Azure Drake. It draws your card, makes your spells hit harder, and it's just a nice 4/4. Priest can't deal with it. I wish it was a 4/5, but I think it would be a little bit too powerful. Gadget's an Auctioneer, as you saw in the other game. He can be proactive. I almost never play him on turn 5. I normally combo him with other spells to get the most value I can out of him. And he's just a card that I absolutely love, and he can start gaining you insane value. Flame Strike is Flame Strike. It's your board wipe. That's all there is to it. So that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any changes that I would make is I would probably take out the Gadgets and Auctioneers for a Faceless Manipulator and maybe a Thalnos, but that's pretty much it. As you can see, there's no legends in this deck, a lot of basics, a lot of commons, and then there's just like, was there 6, 7, 8 rares in here? That's it. 8 rares is not very much. The curve is very nice, as you can see. I love it. There's no turn 6. I was considering taking out a Gadgets and Auctioneer for a Blizzard, but I really haven't had that much trouble with Rush decks, so I'm kind of keeping it as is until I see a little bit of a shift that it needs. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you play with this deck or build a deck similar to it, I'd love to hear comments about it, hear how you do. Hit me up on my Twitter. It is the same as my channel, the Duke of TBC, and I hope to hear from you guys, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye!